Hi and welcome to Speak Your Mind on Goal FM. I'm your host Shamil Ochenlal, and I've been looking forward to this session on Speak Your Mind. We're going to talk on various topics today, from empowering women to awards and honors, and some charitable work which some good companies have been carrying forward to help the community at large in Fiji. So my first guest is Nesbeth Hazelman, the CEO for Commerce and Employees Federation. Nesbeth, welcome on the show.
Thank you. Good to be back after 17 long years.
I know
building.
When did you leave FBC
I left,
for?
In January 2000. January 2000.
Yeah, and I had
17
joined.
years, yeah.
I had joined FBC in mid '86.
That's
It was a
correct.
pleasure working with you then, but I stayed on.
Yeah, Mike has been a friend to me many years, and I still continue that work with music.
Anyway, good to have you. Nesbeth Hazelman used to be the former manager human resources then when he was with FBC. Anyway, Nesbeth, you are now the CEO for Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation. In short form, we call it FCEF. Tell me about FCEF.
FCEF is an organization made of employers. It's not new to Fiji. It's been around for 57 years. It was first mooted and started in 1960. And this was in response to the relative strength of the trade unions back then. We had the colonial infrastructure in place, the colonial institutes in place, and a group of employers felt that they needed their voice also heard in the landscape. So they formed a group of 20 employers, Morris Edstroms, Fiji Airways at that time, Carpenters. They got together, Fiji Times also got together and formed a group of employers. And it's since grown and it's evolved since then. So we've been around a long time. Our job is mainly to advocate for employers in areas of industrial relations and employment issues. But we've sort of evolved into the business area now, and we're advocating a lot on business issues. So that's primarily our aim, is to advocate to government and other stakeholders the interests of business, mainstreaming their concerns to the relative authorities.
So you work very closely with the WebC, which is empowering women in various projects. What is your role with WebC?
Well, WebC is my baby. I saw the need to mainstream women issues, especially women in the informal area, those who are trying to make it out in business, small business owners. It was my attempt to try and mainstream their concerns and provide them that vehicle through the FCEF network to be able to bring their issues to the table and on to other stakeholders, meaning government and the international fora.
So what motivated you to do this? What motivated you to empower women and women's issues?
Well, basically, going around to the flea markets, the markets, a lot of these women are working in that sort of space. There are a lot of women doing catering from home. Their views are not heard. They struggle to get business licenses. The health departments are not always their friends. They sort of a hindrance to them making a living for their family. So I saw this when I first entered FCEF in 2010, that there is a definite need for a vehicle or an organization to be set up to mainstream these women in this area. Mind you, they contribute quite significantly to Fiji's economy. They operate mainly in the informal sector. And as we know, 60% of our people operate in the informal sector. So there's a huge contribution to Fiji's economy.
So how do you help these women? You say that they contribute a lot to the women's sector, and what are the issues? How when you approach these women, are they confident enough to step out in this business, or these are women who are looking for opportunities, or are they already in the mainstream area?
Well, it's 2-3-pronged. Some of them like to operate in that area. They feel comfortable in that area. They don't want to grow large. They just want to make a living that they can feed their families and provide income for the home. Some of them would like to grow, but don't know how to grow. They don't know. They don't have the ability to understand financial management. All these sort of soft skills or hard skills you need when you want to move from the informal to the formal sector. So we provide them that sort of training and advocacy for them. There are some women who'd like to sort of branch out into other areas to diversify. They have no idea about social media. They don't know how to market their products. We provide them with that sort of training. And we don't provide it per se as the Federation. We get our networks to supply, to provide this training. We get people like Ms. Jenny Situ to come in and teach them on financial literacy. We get people in our HR units within the various companies around Fiji to talk to them about human resources. How do they hire people? How do they retain people? We get people in marketing to teach them the best practices in marketing, how to use social media to market your products. So we basically draw on the network to assist these ladies out there.
So how many men are there working behind the scenes with the FSEF to empower these women? Are there more men or women in this?
Well, basically, the men on the board of FSEF are 100% behind these ladies. And the men who are not on the board but are members of FSEF. They have a place at our annual TOPEX conference where they speak on their issues and they talk about it. And the men stand up and they say, yeah, we want to help. How can we help you? So this is where the network is very important for us.
So I'm sure there are women who are listening to this and they may be in some informal sector of business. How do they get in touch with FSEF or WebC?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the best way to get in touch with us is to come to our offices in 42 Gorey Street or send us an email. We're online, www.fcef.com. You can send us a note or email us, and I'm happy to sort of guide them through.
Do they need to have any kind of qualification to be able to venture into
nothing.
business?
They don't even have to pay us at the initial stage. Membership fees for women in business is $50, as opposed to our mainstream councils who pay us substantially more. And the reason for this is we understand they work in the informal sector. So $50 a year, they get our full services of the Federation.
What about women who are in outer rural areas? How can they access to your services?
We're online. We're online. We have information flowing to them online. We could get it. We have a platform through Vodafone that offer assistance to our women out there. And of course, I mean, technology now being such, you can always give us a call. We'll be on hand to advise them on any issues they may have in relation to their business or in relation to employment issues, etc., etc.
Yeah. You said that this the WebC is your baby. So would you like to share a success story, a story which is very close to your heart, where you saw someone from scratch to now being able to support them or has really advanced in this area of business, women?
See, WebC, two key goals in the WebC, and they're linked to the Millennium Development Goals, MDGs. Goal 1 on poverty alleviation, and Goal 3, which is gender equality. These are two aims. As opposed to, say, the women in business, which look after women who are already sort of up there, we tend to go the step down, although we have a lot of professional women in our ranks. And the success stories are, we have many success stories, but just and two of them you'll be talking to after this.
Yes.
They've established their business. One is in bakery, and the other is in manufacturing oils and all these sort of things and exporting them. And we're getting ladies in that space now, in the export space. So I'm very excited about that. And with government opening up its initiative on export-based industries, these ladies can now filter through. And I'm sure government will be only too pleased to hear from these ladies who have actually developed from scratch now into a position where they are able to export their products. There are ladies who operate restaurants from home, not restaurants from home, but catering from home. They've grown substantially, and some of them have migrated from WebC to being a fully fledged member of FSEF and paying the full amount. So their turnover is about $1 million now.
How many women have been successful so far with this initiative?
Well, I think all the members of the Federation, or for the Women Entrepreneurs Council, have found some success. Maybe some in small ways, some in larger ways. But they've seen that the direct contact with other women and the problems that they face, and discussing it and bringing key stakeholders in to talk to them and find out and giving them sort of options on solving some of these problems has helped them immensely.
What message would you like to give to other women who are watching and listening to us?
The message I'd say is basically, if you've got a bright idea, go out and pursue it. And I'd like to just quote what is commonly quoted by the government, and I think it's taken from somebody from India, and it's, let's try and be job creators rather than job seekers. That's
very wisely said. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nisbet Hazelman, the CEO for Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation, which is the FSEF. It's great and encouraging to see how men are now helping and are to empower women, are behind them to help these women to go to greater heights. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We'll take a break and we're going to talk to two very successful women who started from scratch. We're going to hear their story, which is definitely going to inspire you. This is Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, and we carry this program live on Gold FM. Our phone number is 3220906 and 3220907, which is when you can call us. You can call us now and ask questions in relation to this topic. If you want to start a business or if you have big dreams that you want to start off with, we're here today to discuss about that. And just a reminder to our listeners on Gold FM that we have this program on FBC TV, which is recorded to play on FBC TV, which is going to be tonight and tomorrow at 11 a.m. But currently, we are live on Gold FM. I have with me members of WebC, Api, who's the director of Lapita Marketing Enterprise. Api, welcome on the show.
Bula Vinaka. Good to be here.
And owner of Rewanga Bakery, Atela. How are you, Atela?
Fine, thank you.
So we had Nesbeth here a while ago who was talking about FCEF and WebC. He had a lot of good things to talk about WebC. That is coming from a man's mouth, right? Tell me more about WebC. Is it really true of what he said about WebC? Do they really empower women and make them dream big?
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
they've helped us a lot.
Yeah.
Tell me about you, Api. You are the director of Lapita Marketing Enterprise. You have a business on a very large scale. Had it not been for WebC, would you have been able to venture or to grow like this?
I think WebC provided me the platform to really network with people out there that are able to help me upscale my business from where I started. It provides that network for me.
So where were you before you met WebC? You said they helped you upscale your business. Where was your business?
I was certainly down here. I was not exporting. I was not selling to anybody. I was selling through wet markets. Okay, wet markets are the Westpac markets, the Rock market.
Flea markets,
Yeah, but I wanted to go into a space where my products can be seen in supermarkets and maybe pharmacies.
Yeah. Did you have that big dream or vision?
Yes.
You always used to dream, but you did not know how to go about?
Yeah. Well, I think with the background that I had a business development background for the Australian Trade Commission, which I worked with for about 20 odd years. And I think it built the network for me to start something and really start a business. But I never realized what it's like till you get out there. It's like a war.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's theory when I was working, trying to match somebody from Australia to someone in Fiji until I really ran a business. It wasn't easy.
So how has your business advanced if you compare to what you were doing before and now on a larger scale? What is the
I'm able to move a lot more products. In my revenue stream is expanding.
You employ a lot of people at the moment?
Yes, I do. I have a lot of suppliers that I know now, a lot of customers that I know now. I am finding better ways to upscale my business through referrals through WebC.
Atela, you are the owner of Rewanga Bakery, and everyone knows that. Even I used to go and buy bread from there. You're not there at the moment, right? You have your businesses elsewhere now in Osori and...
I'm in Osori and Nasiese now.
Tell me some challenges you faced as a woman in setting up your business, and how did you overcome these challenges?
It was to deal with authorities and their requirements as time goes by. There's always changes. So just be informed and keep current with what's going on and apply this to the business. That was a bit of a challenge, and also competition. There's a lot of bakeries around, and tackling motherhood and business all together in one.
Yeah.
So
But you've been very successful. Was it through WebC that you were successful, or your business was doing well?
like Api took me to another level. Before WebC, it was just me, home, business, the kids. And then joining WebC, I realized that there were other women and they have the same sort
problem.
of challenges.
Yeah.
And sharing it with them and then attending workshops have helped
How many
me a
women
lot.
are members with WebC?
I think there's 141.
Okay. They're from all works of life?
Yeah,
I mean,
all
all over
41
Fiji?
members,
Or
yeah.
is it only centrally
No,
focused?
it's informal and formal sector.
Yeah.
But I think mostly for the 141, it's probably just Suvarna, Sori, and maybe Thai level, because we look after the women in the market too, the
Okay.
informal sector.
So what would be some advice you'd want to give to women who'd like to start up their business?
For me, I just think that you don't need the money and you don't need the qualification. If you have
Really?
the passion,
Because normally
go
we
ahead.
think that we need money, right?
No.
So I want to start up a nursery and with plants, and I'm saying, oh my goodness, but I need money. I need some money to be
No.
able to do. So that's not the case.
No. I just feel that money is not the issue. There is so many things that you have in your backyard that you can turn into dollars. But you just have to think. Otherwise, you will always be looking for money. There's other things out there that you can turn into money.
I would say start small. Start with whatever you have and make it work.
Yeah.
You know, be consistent.
Yeah, I know there are women who have started small, but they haven't been exposed to a WebC. So what is the process of joining a WebC?
Well, we have a Facebook page, and we do have a website where you can actually access the application form to join, or you go to 42 Gorrie Street, the FSAF office. You'll be, you're able to get a form from there.
So
Complete
what
and give it
benefit
in.
do you get by joining WebC?
There's lots of benefits. Networking, learning, like they bringing tax people to
Yeah.
explain about the taxes.
The lawyers,
The
about
lawyers, all the
companies.
legal things, And
So you not only expand in business, but in the knowledge of
oh, yes.
business and networking with other women when you become members with WebC. One
Yes.
last question. Both of you have your own business. You started small. You join WebC. You're now very successful. I'm so encouraged. I think I'll be joining. And those who are listening and watching. What are your other businesses? A last question. Both of you look so young. I met Atela from time to time, and I said, what keeps you so young? It's not the stress of the business. If it was the stress of the business, you wouldn't have, right? So it's not that stressful, right? If you want to have your own business going. What is the secret ingredient into
You
that?
just need to manage your stress.
and juggle.
And time management is very important. So and also you need to learn to say no to some things
Yeah.
so that you can carry on with your business and your life. I mean, at the end of the journey, you don't want to make the money and end up in the hospital. You know?
Yeah.
So a last question. There are women there who want to start up a business. How would you encourage them? What would you tell them? I mean, they will say, how do I start? I'm not bold enough. I haven't stepped out of my comfort zone.
I think they have to try a number of things, maybe 2 or 3 things, and see what works for you. What works for you as a business person, what
Right.
works for you as a mother,
Yeah.
what works for you as a wife, and what works for you that gives you the margin.
It's no use dreaming about it
No,
only and
you
keeping
have
in
to
your
be a
mind,
doer.
but you need to be the doer, right?
You got to have a passion for whatever
Wow.
service or product that you have, that you want to do. So just go for it. Give it a shot.
Excellent. I need to catch up with you two ladies over coffee after the show. I'm so inspired because I need to step out too and not start thinking.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Api and Atela for coming on the show. So Atela, from the owner of Rewanga Bakery, and Api, director of Lapita Marketing Enterprises. They're both members of WebC. You can get in touch with WebC. We'll take a very short break and we'll be right away. We're going to talk about some ways where the people and the citizens of Fiji have been honored and empowered. So stay with me. Hi, welcome back on Speak Your Mind. Like I mentioned earlier, that we have got a variety of topic on Speak Your Mind today, which is going to benefit you, and I'm sure you're already enjoying the show. So I have with me the member of College of Honor, Mr. Dixon Sito. Welcome on the show, sir.
Thank you.
And the chairperson of College of Honor, Dr. Akanisi Kendiate. Welcome on the show.
Thank you.
So this is amazing. This is great that how the College of Honor has been identifying people and is trying to empower them. Let us talk about this. Where is the College of Honor and what does the college look after, Doctor?
Thank you. The College of Honor is in the office of the President, which is located at 1 Beckley Crescent, and it consists of 5 members, the chairperson, and 4 other members who are appointed by His Excellency the President to serve for a period of 2 years. The function of the college is to assist and advise the President in the administration of the Act. And they consider nominations for appointment to any categories in the order. They also recommend to the President the appointment of a member to the order and the award of the order to the Central Division and the Civilian Bravery.
So it's a lot of hard work put into that. And Mr. Sito, you are a member of that. So when it comes to, like the chairperson had mentioned that you assist and advise the President in the administration of the Act and consider nominations for appointment to any categories. And how do you decide on categories and nominations?
Well, the Fiji honor system was created in 1995, and people are nominated, and the applications are forwarded to the President's office. You need to have 4 referees, and you can get the forms from the various divisional offices around Fiji, or you can get them from the government house. And you need to spell out exactly what the award is for. We have various categories for the various honor systems, from the general system to for the military, the police, and the and categories like that. And it's all spelled out quite clearly in our act that we follow.
Let us talk about the Order of Fiji. What is the Order of Fiji?
Well, the Order of Fiji is enacted by Act of Parliament to provide for the establishment of the honors and awards system in Fiji. It is a system whereby the citizens of Fiji are recognized for outstanding contribution to their fellow citizens and who have achieved excellence in serving their communities and the nation. The system also recognizes specifically acts by individuals who also risk their lives in a selfless way in order to save or attempt to save the life of a Fiji national.
So, Dr. Akinisi, tell me about what governs the Order of Fiji and when was it established? More on that.
Okay. The honors was established in 1995 and was amended in 1997. And the Act does consist of the following responsibilities. The President is the head of all the honors, and he alone shall issue the charters and the regulations in establishing the honors and the awards. And he is the Chancellor of the Order, and is responsible for the administration of the Order. And he is also, the Chancellor will advise the College of Honor, that is our committee, to appoint and approve any award in the Order of Fiji, and the General Division and the Civilian Bravery has already been outlined. So let me reiterate, the functions of the Fiji College of Honor members, as explained by my colleague, is to be able to scan the applications and to see which ones, fit in the criteria for the various categories. And so the details of the announcement of that and the amendment of the Act in 1997, stipulates that the award is announced in the New Year's Day, and the investiture ceremony is always determined by the President.
So you have 6 more months to plan for the announcement?
Yes.
Yes.
It's, applications have gone out, and that is why it is important for this interview, because we are here to publicize and popularize, about these awards. Because over the years, not many people have heard or known about this, thus the scarcity of the people applying. But now there are more people being aware. We've had a session in Fijian and Hindi, and now the English, and to try and get the public to be aware of this award, because it closes in October. The 30th of October it closes. So that is why my colleague and I are here to let the public know that this is the highest award that the government, the President gives. And many times, people have done great things for the community.
Which has gone unnoticed.
Unnoticed, they've sacrificed, people are working in the background, nobody notices.
Yes.
And, I always say that the only time when we applaud and we commend and we give all the praises, when somebody is in the ground, is
Yeah,
buried, and then we go and say all the good things. But so this award, and my colleague and I have heard the president say that he wants us to have a culture of appreciation, and this country must appreciate all the things that people have done in this nation, and thus, be nominated by somebody for this award. So that's another thing, you get people to nominate you.
How do you get someone to nominate to be awarded?
Well, what happens is this. This is a nomination by other people other than yourself. So I urge that people, as my colleague has said, if you see someone who has done great service for the nation, especially the quiet achievers, they need to be recognized. Please get a form, or you can even write in, explaining with 4 referees the work that this deserving individual needs to be recognized for, and spell out what they've done. And there's many people who have done a lot of things for Fiji, the betterment of Fiji and its people. There's also, awards, as Akanisa said, for the armed forces, the corrections, and people like that as well, and also for bravery. We've had a young person who saved another young person in a pool, and it was great to see a very young person being awarded the medal for bravery, and he risked his life by going to save this person. So it can apply to anyone all over Fiji, and certainly urge people to do this. If you think of anyone who's deserving, please recommend them, and the college will sift through them. As we have a lot of entries, not everybody will get the awards. Our president has said that he does want as many people to be recognized, and he wants more people to get the honors.
How was the interest last year?
Oh, the interest was for the first time last year. Both Dixon and I were in the screening, and there were so many people, much, much better than the previous years. So we hope that this year there will be many more people, nominating some people in the various categories that have been said. Let me just say clearly the categories are: we have charters for the General Division, which covers all the members of the public, and there are 7 charters in the Military Division, and then 4 charters for the members of the Fiji Police Force, and we have 2 charters that cover the members of the correction officers, and then the 2 charters that cover the member of the National Fire Authority, and 1 that covers the civil service. We are hoping that the civil service will also, be revived this year, because last year we didn't have the civil service, but we are hoping that that could also, because they have their own award system, but we are hoping that will also be done.
Okay. Excellent. We'll be taking another break, and when we come back, we'd like to know more about the nomination form, what is required to be filled. Where can I get the nomination form, or is it only people from the various sectors? What about people in my village, in my area, these areas, rural areas, how can we nominate them? So a very interesting topic, and if you want to ask any questions in regards to this nomination and about the honor, please do call. Our number is 3220906 and 3220907. Do call me right after this break. We're on Speak Your Mind, and today we're talking about the College of Honor. And as we speak, Mr. Sito, you were also awarded at once with this honor. How were you discovered? Who discovered you for this honor?
Well, it was actually, I was actually nominated by my good friends and colleagues, and I didn't know about it. It was only when I think I was not on the college at that time, the government house rang to say that you've got this honor. Are you willing to accept it? And that came as a great surprise, that I had been nominated and being honored. So it was a great honor for me. And the application is done by other people for the people who they think deserve this honor. and then they don't have to know about it. You can send the application through to us at Government House, and the forms are available at the Secretariat at Government House.
So, what is required to be filled in the form?
Well,
Yeah. Well, can I just say that the form can be picked from the Secretariat? The contact number, telephone number is 3314244, 3314244, or 9904,188. And the email is, if you have email, Fane, small letters, dot tupo at govnet.govnet FJ. And the form has the name of the nominee and the residential and postal address of the nominee.
Do you have a website where people can download the form as
Yes,
well?
we're just about to complete our website now, and when that is done, people can access it.
And
But at
there'll
the
be-
moment,
yes.
we've distributed the forms to the divisional commissioners because of the people in the rural areas. If you are listening in, then they can go to the divisional commissioners and ask for the form.
Okay.
So-
So, what is required to be filled in the form?
Well, in the form, like I've said, your date and place of birth. This is the nominee, residential, telephone or mobile numbers, and clearly outline the nominee is in Fiji or non-Fiji citizen, because that can also happen. You can also be outside of Fiji. And the detailed information of the person you are nominating, and details of 4 referees who are supporting your nomination. So if I'm nominating you, I will put in all those details, plus other 4 referees who know you and know your contribution and participation, in the community, in the school, in the medical field or whatever, in the government.
Yeah, you know
So-
how some people have migrated to other countries, and
Yes.
if they've known you well, can they still become your referees?
Yes, yes, it can still happen. Yes, as long as the person knows your contribution. That contribution doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
So if there are people who have known you, that you have been doing this in the community, you've been helping women, to empower them to have their business or whatever it is, you've been in the school for so long, you're retired head teacher now, it's that this award is in recognition of what people have contributed to the community, to the business world, and to the government of this nation over years. So
Would you like to talk about a success story about someone who was nominated recently, which could inspire people to come forward to nominate others to?
Yes.
Those stories.
Maybe I will talk about the women. For the first time this year, my friend here will affirm this. The women's in organizations who have often done a lot of things in the rural communities, helped other women, support them, mentored them or guided them. There were about 5 women from the community who, for the first time of their life, some of them have come to Suva, to receive the award. To me, that is really recognizing that here are these women who've done their work and nobody has appreciated them, or they've taken it for granted, or that is the role of women to do that. But they have stepped out of their normal, work in their family to help other women in the club, to be able to be empowered so that they can, also be good mothers and good community members.
Like Mr. Sito mentioned earlier that someone was awarded for saving someone's life, right?
Yes, yes.
So it doesn't have to be someone who is a degree holder or someone on that category. It has to be someone who has contributed somehow in a positive way
Yes.
Correct.
to
Yes.
building the community and empowering someone.
Yeah.
In that
There was
case.
a young, that young boy who saved another young person, a girl during the cyclone
Yes.
that just happened recently.
Yes,
And she happens to be the head girl of the school where everybody had run for their lives. And she saw this mother and the child. She went back in spite of the danger and went and helped, the mother and the child. And somehow they nominated her and they showed the picture of this young girl. So to me, that's really sacrifice.
It is, yes.
Somebody sacrificing life, and not being selfish about their own lives, but looking out for others and doing something for others.
And I'm sure that today's Talkback show is really going to inspire people. There are people there, but we are not aware of them. We don't know. So today, through this Talkback, we'll be able to identify some people, and there are some good Samaritans there who will be able to identify these worthy people who need to be nominated, need to be recognized for this award. So when is the closing date for this?
It is on 13th October by 4 p.m. So we've got now it's almost the end of August, still got September and October. So still plenty of time for people who are listening in, to this interview to be able to go to the commissioner's office and get a form, or else ring the telephone number to the secretariat and ask for a form, and or email Fanny, as I've said, our secretary, to get information about this or to fill in the form.
Yes, and I'll also be posting this information on Facebook, Speak Your Mind, from where you can access information.
Fantastic.
Is there any other general information you'd like to share?
No, I just urge that people do look out to see who is deserving of honors, people, especially the quiet achievers, as I said earlier,
Yes.
Who need to be recognized. And look around, and we will be looking at people who have contributed. And this award is not only for just the local people, because we also have an honorary category that even people who are from other countries who have done good service, some medical officers who've served Fiji for a long, long time, if there are people like that, they also can be honored.
Okay. Thank you very much for such great information. And thank you, Dr. Akanisi and Mr. Sito, for coming on this show. Our guests from President of Fiji to talk on the Fiji system of honors and awards. Please do take advantage of this and do nominate those who are quiet and who haven't been exposed. I mean, it's a great opportunity to be a blessing in someone's life through this honor. So thank you very much for coming on the show. Another break, and we are going to talk about another charitable organization very soon. This is Speak Your Mind on Goal FM. I'm your host, Shamilochan Lal, and I've got Ambalika Kutti with me, who is with the ATH Foundation. Ambalika, tell me about ATH Foundation and your role. Welcome on the show, by the way.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us, Shami. The foundation was established in 2004 with an aim to give back to the community. It's a corporate philanthropy arm of Vodafone Fiji Limited and also Amalgamated Telecom Holdings.
And what's your role with ATH?
I'm the foundation executive, and we, with the board members, we steer the charitable work in the community.
So tell me more about the charitable work that ATH Foundation does.
The foundation focus is around health, education, women and youth empowerment. All the grants that goes in the community is mostly on income generation projects, entrepreneurial projects where people come up with new products, or they are very innovative, or they have been doing something with in regards to their resources. They have the land, they have the people, the human resources in the village, or they have been doing something which was small and they're now wanting to go bigger. So we provide them with the seed funding.
Okay. So who can benefit from this foundation?
Anybody who's registered in terms of clubs, like Songsong Vakamarama, Tamangone, like the youth clubs and the women's club. It can be any group that is based at the community level. It can be any big charitable organizations like Spinal Injury Association or any other organization that is doing work in the community out there.
Okay. So how can people contact you?
We are on Facebook under Vodafone ATH Fiji Foundation. We are also on the website. People can contact us in office 3214-270. I can also be contacted via mobile phone. Our forms, application forms, the guidelines, what help is there, and the kind of support that can be accessed is also available on our website.
So since 2004, what has been your focus areas where the foundation has made investments? What are some of the areas?
Shami, the area is so big. We have worked in everything and anything. So
Right.
you name it. It can be health, it can be environment, it can be education, it can be. It's entirely based on the needs of the community. And now our focus has changed a little bit where we are saying proactive approach.
Okay.
So proactive meaning that we are trying to steer away from not giving wheelchairs, but to screen for diabetes so they don't go for amputation, etc.
Okay. Prevention.
It's more prevention approach than to be reactive. We are also going on the cross-cutting issues such as self-care and holistic health. I mean, we are saying that if your health is not up to par, then you may end up, how we say, investment gone wrong. In the recent past, we have received request for preventing blindness for a 19-year-old, a 22-year-old going for kidney transplant. So
And ATH Foundation has helped them and assisted them.
individuals, we have stopped helping individuals, but when the staff raise funds, the foundation doubles it to the max of 1,000 when they are traveling. So individual help, Shami, we have stopped. Actually, not totally. Some employees are already raising funds, but the reason for this is there's a huge influx of requests which comes on a daily basis.
So
that
how do you keep up to it? How do you keep up to the
we
demands?
are unable to handle the demands. That's why we have started with our proactive approach, where we are saying, please people, don't get sick, because once you get sick, we will not be able to help. And not only us, we have heard that a lot of people are unable to help because of the huge number of demands. Either it be heart elements or it be a wheelchair request. In a month, we got requests for 1,600 wheelchairs. So that shows the number of demands out there, the people who are requesting for things. There's about 40 requests in a day sometimes on max. People are asking for cancer treatment. People are asking for...
And these are
preventative-
individual
These are
requests.
individual requests. And
But like
these-
you said, that ATH Foundation doesn't work on individual
it won't
requests.
be fair if we give one and we are unable to give to the other.
So what are your future plans and projects that you plan to execute?
Now we executing projects like I have mentioned earlier, mostly on proactive approach and doing screening, so people can steer themselves away from diseases. To be taking care of themselves. Holistic health. When I say holistic health, I mean from the farm to the pot to yourself, training and everything. You just cannot leave one thing.
So how can people access to this information through ATH?
This information is can be accessed on www.mobilize. Mobilize is se.com.fj. So whatever we go and do in the community with our volunteers, we've got World of Difference volunteers. There's about 6,000 volunteers registered in our National Volunteer Center. And on daily basis, like I'm speaking to you here, Shamina, and we have about 5 candidates already on the ground doing stuff. Some are in
You
Sierra-
do a lot of traveling, right, with ATH Foundation. What has been your challenges and what is something that really touched your heart? What is the need at the moment?
When we talk about community work, challenge will always be there. It's not easy. It's not easy to get and cross the river. Sometimes we are waiting for the water to recede so we can cross the lowland areas. Challenges has always been there, and I know it's going to be there. And change is inevitable. And when we resist change, then that's when development stops. So we accept anything that comes on board. But what is currently more heart-throbbing is the suffering of people from NCDs.
Is it because of our attitude, self-infliction?
I think we don't take care of ourselves. It's just that we take things for granted. We feel that, the doctors are there, they will help us. We somehow have that feeling that, we'll be fine. It's not that dangerous yet. But there are some people we bump into who may have sickness and they don't even know they're carrying it. We delivered one wheelchair to one beautiful lady, looked like Lady Diana, and she's only 32 years old, and she got burned from the rice cooker, and this is about a while ago, and then she didn't know that she was diabetic. So a lot of us, we are walking around thinking that we may be well, but we are not.
Ambalika, what is the dream and vision of ATH Foundation?
We keep saying that we want a stronger and connected Vanua where we should all be away from pain. But it's just that we are very far away from it. We can only get connected to each other if we are healthy. If we are unhealthy, we may not be even listening to each other.
How can people get in touch with you through ATH Foundation if they need to access to any information or any help?
I'm on Facebook as Ambalika Devi Prakash and also on Vodafone ATH Fiji Foundation. And we do respond to all the clubs who need support. On annual basis, we reach over 200 community-based organizations.
Thank you very much, Ambalika, for coming on the show. So, as promised earlier, we had a variety of guests on our show with a variety of information to access to. Thank you for joining me on Speak Your Mind, and I'll be with you again next Tuesday on Gold FM through Speak Your Mind. Thank you very much.